For more on this, let's speak now to Anurag Viswanath, who is a fellow at the Institute of Chinese Studies, and she joins us now from Singapore. Welcome to the News Hour. So we know China is this huge powerhouse. It has great economic ambitions, but will this negative population growth impact those ambitions?
Well, China's population has been declining. The total fertility rate has been declining over decades. And as you mentioned, it's largely because of the one-child policy. In the 70s, they had one at best, two at most. Later, longer, fewer. So the negative growth is largely because of the state. And right now, it's just too expensive for people to have children. For instance, in Shanghai, the fertility, the TFR is 0.8. And that's because more and more Shanghainese want to be dings or double income, no kids. But what is happening in China is not unique. It's been happening all over East Asia. It's been happening all over Northeast Asia. For example, in Japan, the TFR is 1.3, Korea at all-time historic low, 0.8, Singapore, where I live and where I'm speaking from, it's again very low, 1.1, and the Singapore government has been giving a lot of incentives to couples.
I want to speak about those incentives in a second, Anurag, but as you mentioned there, China is not alone. Other countries are also in this situation. But back to China, is it too late for China to get back that stability? Because they have a two-pronged issue here, right? They have a low birth rate and also an aging population.
Well, the basic problem that the state is not addressing is that it's just too expensive to have children. Education is very expensive, and other things are also very expensive. So if China really wants people to make more babies, it definitely needs to look at the Scandinavian model, which is paternity leave, which is flexible working arrangements, and even long-term childcare support. This is quite essential. This has worked in Scandinavia, and this is also a model that several countries in East Asia are looking at.
And Anurag, would you say that this is the general root of the problem? It's simply too expensive to have babies. Women wonder if they'll have a job to come back to, and of course so many people don't work in traditional jobs. They're freelancers, the gig economy. How do you bring a child into that scenario?
Well, patriarchy obviously plays a role because it is still, a woman's job to look after home and hearth, to look after the child, to look after the house. And given, the one-child policy has already been withdrawn. That was in 2016. But that's simply not enough. People need more support in terms of, paid maternity leave, in terms of baby bonus, economic incentives. And of course, perhaps China withdrew the one-child policy a bit. It took too long to withdraw it. The damage had been done 70s, 80s. So, yes.
Anurag, fantastic to get your analysis on this important subject today. Anurag Viswanath.